Hey, good morning. This is Kim Reads Urantia. Good to be here with you today. So I'm going to read to you from the Urantia book, but first I have 365 Days of Walking the Red Road by Terry Jean. Today we hear from Wovoka, also known as Jack Wilson, who was Paiute spiritual leader. He was the visionary who brought about the Sundance, or created the Sundance. Okay, I don't know if that's an appropriate word, but popularized not the Sundance, the ghost dance. The ghost dance. Yeah. Here we go. You ask me to plow the ground. Shall I take a knife and tear my mother's bosom? Then when I die, she will not take me to her bosom to rest. You ask me to dig for stones? Shall I dig under her skin for bones? Then when I die, I cannot enter her body to be born again. You ask me to cut grass and make hay and sell it and be rich like white men. But how dare I cut my mother's hair? I want my people to stay with me here. All the dead men will come to life again. Their spirits will come to their bodies again. We must wait here in the homes of our fathers and be ready to meet them in the bosom of our mother. Wovoka, Jack Wilson, Paiute spiritual leader, lived from 1856 to 1932. Good words. Yeah, so we're not going to do what the white man says. Yeah. Okay. We don't have to live the way the white man lives. We don't have to adopt his values. We have our own. They're still fighting that struggle. Okay. The Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu, translation by Derek Lin. True words are not beautiful. Beautiful words are not true. These lines can sometimes be misused. People who like to criticize others may cite these words to justify their behavior. The difference between them and sages lies in intention. Sages speak plainly and truthfully when doing so benefits others without harming them. Good. So it's the intention of words. People who like to criticize others. Okay, so that's not it. So you can't just say words that are not beautiful to someone just to try to straighten them out. So you have intention to elevate people. So always, I think your intention is to elevate the potentials inherent within each person, but you have to see them for what they are in order to do that too. Those who are good do not debate. Those who debate are not good. Those who are skillful in the art of living recognize the futility of arguments and refrain from engaging in debates. Debate is such a sport. It's such a oh gosh, it's a sport. Lawyers are like, oh my gosh. If you get rid of half the lawyers in this country, I mean, or even a lot more than that, it would be a better place. But I would never, I don't know, if I would encourage my students to go into marketing or law. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Sages let actions reveal their virtues. They have no need to explain themselves with words. Absolutely. Sometimes we think we are helping friends by arguing with them. But because this brings contention into the relationship, it can do more harm than good. People are rarely at their best when a debate causes them to become defensive and stubborn. It would be better for us to leave the matter alone and wait for the right time to approach the subject. Good. Those who know are not broad of knowledge. Those who are broad of knowledge do not know. Okay, this is an interesting thing I've been thinking about lately is like you can have like breadth of knowledge or depth of knowledge of a single thing, a single focus, but usually not both. Usually not both, at least not at the same time. At the endeavor to have both. So there's kind of a trade-off. When we say jack of all trades, master of none, we are describing people who have not achieved excellence in any one thing. It is as if they're digging many shallow wells and not getting much water. The opposite is someone with true mastery of knowledge, someone who has no wish to chase after a broad spectrum of subjects. When we align ourselves with this concept, we concentrate only on a few wells, digging them deeply and getting as much water as we want. Yep, so we have only a few things that we're working on. So I think, and this is a process too, when you're first growing up, you're interested in a lot of things. You don't know really what you want to be in life. So you're first inviting all kinds of things, all kinds of knowledge and, thoughts into your mind, into your life. And you're kind of going through this testing phase. And as you get older, you kind of pare that down and get more invested in certain specific things and go deep into a certain subject. So, that heyday of like exploring anything goes thing. And I think what's in our culture, kind of we've taken that to kind of an extreme. Like we've kind of turned it sideways. Like that is the depth or something. So like if you could stay in that phase without limits and do whatever you want and stay superficial and stuff, then that's winning somehow. Think. But that's not the way. Sages do not accumulate. The more they assist others, the more they possess. The more they give others, the more they gain. Accumulate refers to worldly goods. We do not need to pursue the accumulation of goods because we can find contentment and abundance in help and giving. The more we render assistance, the more joyous fulfillment we feel. The more we give, the more we receive. The Tao of heaven benefits and does not harm. The Tao of sages assists and does not contend. The positive, uplifting Tao of heaven benefits all things. The rain waters all plants. The sun warms everyone. In emulating this, we also seek to benefit all people and refrain from hurting them with criticism or contention. Okay, so that concludes Derek Lynn's Tao Te Ching. Okay, so then we'll have to figure out a new Tao Te Ching. I don't know if we want to do this one again. I mean, I think it's good. Especially I think the notes on translation are good. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Maybe I'll pick up another one. I don't know. Today is also the full moon. Kind of serendipitous that we ended our 81 verses of the Tao Te Ching here on the full moon. So, so now we're going to do an I Ching reading, okay, for the full moon. Full moon, July 13th. Okay, so here, let's do that. And remember, on the full moon, we're asking about what do we need to let go of here? Because we're on the point of greatest fullness here. So what is revealed, this is what's been revealed to us here. So I need to pare down here. I understand this is my highest level of understanding my situation today for the next few weeks. And here, now I have to let go. I have to let go of things. So what do I need to let go of here today, these over the course of these next 2 weeks? Okay, so here I've got hexagram 7. Wow, okay. All right, this is interesting. Recruiting allies or the army. So we have number 7. Recruiting allies, also known as the army. Somebody is knocking over there. Okay, all right. So here I'm going to write this down, what this looks like here. The top is unchanging yin. The next, well, they're usually numbered from the bottom up, which is interesting, but changing yin is number 5. Number 4 would be another changing yin. Then we have yeah, somebody's knocking out there. Okay, unchanging yin. We have unchanging yang. It's number 2. And unchanging yin. Okay, so this, let's come back to you here. Okay, so this one is for last month or last time. This was the new moon. And it's kind of interesting to see how this develops too here. So this was the new moon. This is the full moon. So last time we had return and noble, transformed to noble calling. This time we've got recruiting allies. Okay, and this looks like this. So the trigrams here, the top is earth. I recognize earth easily. The bottom one is God, this fire, I think. I always have to look this up. Yeah, let me see. Earth, oh, and water. So water is under the earth. And the water part is not changing. Okay, so we have water under the earth, right? The earth is on top and the water is on the bottom. I always get fire and water mixed up. Water is 2 yin lines with a 2 yin lines with a yang line in between, and fire is a yin line, broken line with 2 in the middle of 2 other ones. Okay, so we're gonna read this. What does this say? What does this tell? Recruiting allies. Deep water beneath the Earth's surface. Untapped resources are available. The superior person nourishes and instructs the people, building a loyal, disciplined following. Good fortune. No mistakes if you follow a course led by experience. Okay. You must gain support from others. Find a way to make others want to see your objectives met as badly as you want it. How can they profit from the attainment of this goal? Can you command confidence that you are just the person that can bring this plan to fruition? Okay, wow. And I'm going to Sundance. Sundance is this week here, so perfect place to build allies and show people, my worth, and that my cause is good, and I bring good things and knowledge. So that's good. What is my cause? What am I? I'm recruiting people to my cause. Geez. I think I've been trying to figure out, like, what is the thing, Foundation trilogy is kind of like that. So I really think, okay, the world or the civilization is collapsing. And I don't think, just like in Foundation, the empire's collapsing. So this guy, Harry Seldon, in Foundation, has to preserve the knowledge gained during this course of civilization. He takes this huge task on himself to preserve the essence of civilization in the knowledge and this philosophy, the best parts of it. Okay, we have to preserve so that this collapse will be shorter, and we can rebuild more easily. That's kind of what I feel like I'm trying to do. I feel like this is a huge grieving process I went through. I think that this collapse is unavoidable. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry. And if you're not there with me, okay, I understand. I understand. No, it's so go, hope, and love, and do everything you can. But yeah, this is what I'm seeing. What I see. I'm not going to go try to justify my why I think this has been long here, but I think within the context of Native culture is a perfect place to preserve this knowledge. The knowledge I'm talking about is some of the best philosophy. A lot of 19th century philosophy is garbage as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. That's what I've been looking into. Like, okay, so the philosophers that I would want to preserve are Ken Wilber's things. Okay, Ian McGilchrist's take on neuroanatomy and how that affects our behavior and our perspectives. That's huge. And David Zinn on history, and David Corton on economics needs to be preserved. Yuval Harari's historical perspectives and Zinn's. What is it? gosh, Howardson. Maybe it's Howardson. Davidson, Howardson, Davidson. Zinn. Howard. Howard. Sorry. Yeah. I got my David. Yeah. And then there's David Wengrow and on anthropology. Right. And Graeber. Those are a couple of Davids. All right. Anyway, so Harari on history too. So those are some of these scholars have made major contributions, and I want to make sure certain things are preserved here. So then it's in the next age. There'll be a flowering, again in a couple hundred years, and this knowledge will be preserved. Ken Wilber stuff is huge. Anyway, I know. I told you I'm crazy. I know. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna move forward then here and translate this hexagram into the next hexagram. Okay, so the top line is going to remain the same, a broken yin line. And it's going to translate now into a unbroken line, number 5. Number 4 is also going to be unbroken, yang. And the bottom will remain water. The Tao Te Ching and the I Ching need to be preserved. We need to retain these things. Okay? So the Urantia book needs to be preserved. We need to retain these things. Okay, so the hex, the transformed hex is exhaustion. Oh no. Number 47. A dead sea, its waters spent eons ago, more deadly than the desert surrounding it. The superior person will stake his life and fortune on what he deeply believes. Triumph belongs to those who endure. Trial and tribulation can hone exceptional character to a razor edge that slices deftly through every challenge. Action prevails where words will fail. This is the realm of the shaman. You have exhausted every alternative, spent yourself completely, taxed body and mind beyond your former limits. Survival and salvation lie beyond your reach now. Only transcendence to a new existence, a higher plane of being, will see you through. The old you is just a dry husk. You can't return to it. Metamorphosis is the only grace offered. You can only return to your homeland as a new you. Wow, so that's rough. Holy smoke. So this points, I think, to that collapse of civilization that I was talking about. So um, it's yeah, that's so hard. Okay, so well, that's what's leading this to, and this is not necessarily going to happen in the next month. Okay, I got to find out what this top one is. I think that's Lake. Think, yeah, that's Lake. Let me see. Let me see the trigrams. The one that's open on top and closed. Number two, trigram number two is Lake. Okay, so there's nothing here in this one here. There's a lot of sorrow. This is what it looks like here. Exhaustion. So there's the lake on top of water. So water, of course, is all emotional, all just um, yeah. So man, that's rough. Old you is a dry husk, but there's so much water in this. You've exhausted every alternative, spent yourself completely, so there's nothing here. There's nothing here. Triumph belongs to those who endure. Trial and tribulation can hone exceptional character to a razor's edge that slices deftly through every challenge. Action prevails where words will fail. Okay, so that's what this is. That's kind of scary, you guys. Okay, all right. So we're recruiting allies so that we can withstand this time of trial that's coming up. And I'm not grieving about it anymore. I've seen it. It's been here for some time. I mean, it's been coming a long time, and that's what that is. Okay, now we're gonna read from the Urantia book. Okay, all right. All right. We have um, section 4 of paper 52, right? We're reading about Post-Magisterial Son Man. So here, human beings are coming out of this trial, this difficulty, and we're coming into um, and this is on a typical planet, not on Urantia. This is the normal course of social development here and historical course on a typical planet. Okay, so on normal and loyal planets, this age opens with the mortal races blended and biologically fit. There are no race or color problems. Literally all nations and races are of one blood. The brotherhood of man flourishes, and the nations are learning to live on earth in peace and tranquility. Such a world stands on the eve of a great and culminating intellectual development. When an evolutionary world becomes thus ripe for the magisterial age, one of the high order of Avonal sons makes his appearance on a magisterial mission. The planetary prince and the material sons are of local universe origin. The magisterial son hails from paradise. So this is where you get the good stuff. Okay. So here we've had people from the local universe come and visit us. Now we're having someone from paradise is coming to help us. When the paradise Avonals come to the mortal spheres on judicial actions solely as dispensation adjudicators, they are never incarnated. But when they come on magisterial missions, at least the initial one, they are always incarnated. Though they do not experience birth, neither do they die the death of the realm. They may live on for generations in those cases where they remain as rulers on certain planets. When their missions are concluded, they yield up their planetary lives and return to their formal status of divine sonship. But isn't this a Bestowa Sun? Okay, each new dispensation extends the horizon of revealed religion, and the magisterial sons extend the revelation of truth to portray the affairs of the local universe and all its tributaries. Okay, wait, I'm pretty sure, because they can, aren't these the one who can be like bestowal people? Right. It says that they are not here. They are incarnated, but they don't go through birth. Okay. Wait, no. I'm pretty sure sometimes they do. Hold on. Okay, this is what, oh my goodness, Avonal sons. We're the paradise sons of God. The paradise sons of God, right? Where's the paradise? Yeah. Hold on. Supernaphim, seven master spirits, the paradise creator sons, paradise sons of God. Yeah. Paper 20. Okay, because not all of them, the magisterial. Okay, so they do have bestowal missions. Judicial visits are numerous. Magisterial missions may be plural, but on each planet there appears but one bestowal son. Bestowal Avonals are born of woman, as Michael of Nebadon was incarnated on Urantia. Okay, so they can go to places just like they do a lot of work. Okay, so on normal planets, you don't have like your Michael son incarnating on your planet. That's like an exceptional thing. But most of the time here you'd have like a magisterial son here. Yeah. But a lot of times they come here and they're not born here, but they're incarnated here like this. But at least once they have to go somewhere and be born of woman somewhere. I think I'm down with that here. Yep. Bestowal mission. So there's judicial actions, magisterial missions. Okay. So we do get a magisterial son. No, I think we got, but they come a lot. So they could come. We could have both, like here, our creator son Michael incarnated here, and also they could have um, um, a material son as well. So this is magisterial son here, and this is, it's also different that this is after Adam. That most planets get a magisterial son and some kind of Jesus. We got a Melchizedek in that place. We got Melchizedek's. So and Melchizedek's are kind of like emergency people, kind of like, oh, my cat is crying. Poor Vinny. Vinny is so sad. Vinny is my sad clown. Okay, so each new dispensation extends the horizon of revealed religion, and the magisterial sons extend the revelation of truth to portray the affairs of the local universe and all its tributaries. Okay, yeah, okay. After the initial visitation of a magisterial son, the races soon effect their economic liberation. The daily work required to sustain one's independence would be represented by 2.5 hours of your time. Okay. What does that mean? Okay, after the initial visitation of a magisterial son, the races soon effect their economic liberation. Okay, so every day you only have to work 2.5 hours. The rest is, whatever you want to work on. Whoever needs the most help. So after this guy comes, you're shortening your workday to 2.5 hours. Woo! Right? So that's a 9, like 14.5 hour week, 12-hour week. Wait, yeah, 4 days, 2 days would be 3 hours. 4 days, 6 hours. 6 days, 9 hours. 10.5 hours. 11.5 hours. 11.5 hours. 12-hour work week. How about that? Yeah, she don't care. Anyway, that's my other cat. She's over there sleeping. She's just so chilling. Okay. It is perfectly safe to liberate such ethical and intelligent mortals. So we can be liberated from our work time. Such refined peoples well know how to utilize leisure for self-improvement and planetary advancement. This age witnesses the further purification of the racial stocks by the restriction of reproduction among the less fit and poorly endowed individuals. So, and that's fine. That's, people aren't upset about that at that point, because you're able to recognize more easily. You have the standards of who's more advanced and who's not more advanced. But the thing is that you can't really judge someone's potential, or maybe you can when you get more advanced. I don't know, but I don't feel like I can say, well, I can just barely be able to tell, well, okay, someone here is functioning at a lower level than I am in a spiritual sense. Okay, right? Okay, so I've just given myself permission to say that out loud to myself, not to a lot of people, but okay, so you can tell that, but then you can't, I still can't discern anybody's potential. So they might be able to grow beyond me, even though they're lower than me currently in that sense. Okay, so I still, it's so important to be kind to them and nurture them, and to believe in them. Okay, but then you have people that don't have a high potential either, and then how do you, well, you don't just, you have to just be kind to, because that'll yeah. But you limit them from reproducing, I guess. Such refined peoples well know how to utilize leisure for self-improvement and planetary advancement. This age witnesses the further purification of the racial stocks by the restriction of reproduction among the less fit and poorly endowed individuals. Okay, so that's so hard, but I think that's just what we need to look at. But people read this, just kind of skip over these parts and go like, oh yeah, everything else is really good. Either that, or they're going like gung-ho on these parts and are like labeling people as unfit and stuff like that, and that's not good either. So we need to talk about this. We need to contextualize these statements because they're hugely impactful. This is so impactful. So that's so important. Okay, all right. The political government and social administration of the races continue to improve, self-government being fairly well established by the end of this age. By self-government, we refer to the highest type of representative government. Such worlds advance and honor only those leaders and rulers who are most fit to bear social and political responsibilities. Okay, so we're able to recognize those people more effectively. Vinny, come, Vinny. During this epoch, the majority of the world mortals are adjuster indwelt. Oh, okay, so that's a loaded statement right there, because I'm thinking, okay, does that mean that in our place right now, the majority of them are not in other? So, because this, I'm looking at this place as a place advanced above where we are now. This post-magisterial man. Ooh, that's, you know what I mean? So you check out, you're like driving along or walking and you just passing by people, and it's like you're going like, okay, wonder if that person has an adjuster, or like maybe they think they have an adjuster and they really don't, or something like this, or they, you know what I mean? Oh man, how can you tell that? And you know, so just please God, protect me from making these judgments unnecessarily. I have to make judgments about where to invest my own energies. Grant me that power, but please absolve me of like these tendencies to make judgments that are not warranted here. I don't need to know these things, but I'm like, you just think about that. It's like how many people walking around here, like when you're doing business dealings with somebody, you know what I mean? You know, or whatever it is. It's like, holy smoke. So yeah, it's so hard. I don't know. Okay, just let that go. But the majority of these people, majority of the world mortals are adjuster indwelt. But even yet, the bestowal of divine monitors is not always universal. Oh, because that's post-bestowal. Right. So the next section is Post-Bestowal Sun. Okay, I get it. So when we have our bestowal sun, then that kind of lets the flood of so we have more adjusters. It's just we have a real difficult environment because we've had our bestowal mission. Okay, the adjusters of fusion destiny are not yet bestowed upon all planetary mortals. It is still necessary for the will creatures to choose the mystery monitors. Okay, so they have to choose them. Okay, so yeah. During the closing ages of this dispensation, society begins to return to more simplified forms of living. The complex nature of an advancing civilization is running its course, and mortals are learning to live more naturally and effectively. And this trend increases with each succeeding epoch. This is the age of the flowering of art, music, and higher learning. The physical sciences have already reached their height of development. The termination of this age on an ideal world witnesses the fullness of a great religious awakening, a worldwide spiritual enlightenment. And this extensive arousal of the spiritual natures of the races is the signal for the arrival of the Bestowa Sun, for the inauguration of the fifth mortal epoch. Okay, so this Magisterial Sun, normally it would be another Magisterial Sun who would come again. So this is the first Magisterial Sun comes, and then for bestowal, another Magisterial Sun will come and will be born of woman. So on this mission here, they're not, but they may be incarnated. Okay. So, but instead we got a Melchizedek, which is another kind of, which is a local universe sun. Because we have a crazy level, crazy kind of development. Okay. Okay, and this extensive arousal of the spiritual natures of the races is a signal for the arrival of the Bestowa Sun, for the inauguration of the fifth mortal epoch. Fifth mortal epoch. So that's where we're at. Right, so it's primitive. Second would be in between the first and second chakra. Third between the second and third. Right? Third to here. Fourth. Okay, so fifth is okay. On many worlds, it develops that the planet is not made ready for a bestowal sun by one magisterial mission. In the event that there will be a second, even a succession of magisterial suns, each of whom will advance the races from one dispensation to another until the planet is made. Yeah, in that event, there will be a second, even a succession of magisterial suns, each of whom will advance the races from one dispensation to another until the planet is made ready for the gift of the bestowal sun. So on a normal planet here, but here, no way was our planet ready for a magisterial sun or bestowal sun, but he just came anyway. On the second and subsequent missions, the magisterial suns may or may not be incarnated. But no matter how many magisterial suns may appear, and they may also come as such after the bestowal sun, the advent of each one marks the end of one dispensation and the beginning of another. Okay, so it can be a lot of them. These dispensations of the magisterial suns cover anywhere from 25,000 to 50,000 years of Urantia time. Sometimes such an epoch is much shorter, and in rare instances even longer. That's a long time. 50,000 years, wow. But in the fullness of time, one of these same magisterial suns will be born as the paradise bestowal sun. Right. Okay. So that's in there. So here, comparatively, we've had, 10,000 years of civilization. Okay. The Melchizedek person was here maybe like well, there was this big gap between here. We were flowering here, and then we were betrayed by Caligastia, and then and the default of Adam and Eve. So after that, there was this huge gap, and then it was picked up again by the Melchizedek, who came. Yeah, but that was only like 5,000 years ago. When was Abraham? You know, Jesus was only 2,000 years ago. So after that, then there was a quicker succession. These people, I don't know when Melchizedek got here, but the Adamic default was how many thousands years ago? Lucifer rebellion, the Caligastia rebellion, was 250,000 years ago. So there's a long history of primitive man, and then the Caligastia rebellion, and then subsequently. So there was a spread out there at the beginning, but then here now they're coming closer together. I guess that's what I'm saying, because we're thinking about these magisterial missions lasting up to 50,000 years. That's a hell of a long time. When we're talking here, we have this revelation here, and then Jesus came just 2,000 years prior to this time. That's pretty short comparatively, right? And then the Melchizedek was there maybe like 3,000 years before Jesus, right? Or not even a couple thousand. So they're kind of hitting us like bang, bang, bang. So they do care. And this falls just so outside the norm that it's hard to know what they're doing, but they do care. We're not abandoned. We have to have faith. And physical death is a mercy on us. It's not a punishment. And everything is going to be okay. You just keep going, put one foot in front of the other, and it's going to be okay, folks. Okay, so I got to go rescue my kitty because he's crying. So I love you very much, and we'll talk soon. Okay, bye.